Krishna Prashanandutare Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda Krishna Krishna Krishna
है, किसको भी लगेगा ना ऑनलाइन बना सकते हैं, बहुत ही अच्छा। तो ये भाई ये ना आयुर्वेद 3 है, ये इस्कॉन का जो हॉस्पिटल है ना, इस्कॉन का हॉस्पिटल वेदांत, उसमें IIT को समझ गोमूत्र और उसको कुछ डाला होगा, एक बोतल और 2 प्योर हल्दी के पैकेट हल्दी वाले का तो गले में हल्दी का पूरा लगता है ना, तो जो भी इन्फेक्शन गले का है वो खत्म हो निकल जाता है।
जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय केशव गोपाल हरि रूपा, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, केशव नर हरि रूपा, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, नरसिंहदे नरसिंहदे जय नरसिंहदेव 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 जय नरसिंहदेव, जय नर हरि जय जय नर हरि, नर हरि जय नर हरि, जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रहलाद महाराज, प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज, जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। So we'll be starting with the fourth canto, fourth chapter. We'll have a small revision or recap of some fourth chapter, fourth canto, third verse, third chapter, fourth canto, third chapter. We'll have a glimpse of what happens after Daksha cursed Shiva. We saw that Daksha cursed Shiva because Shiva did not stand when Daksha entered the arena. So Daksha was very angry. He cursed Shiva that he will not get a share in the sacrifice. Hearing that, Nandi was very angry, and Nandi cursed Daksha that you will have the head of a goat. Then Bhrigu, they were also angry because Nandi cursed even those who heard that curse. So then Bhrigu also was very angry. Then Bhrigu also cursed the Nandi and other followers of Lord Shiva that they will be atheists. Whoever follows Lord Shiva will be atheists. In this way, there was only a fight which was going on. So the tension between the father-in-law and son-in-law Daksha and Lord Shiva continued for a long period. Again, it so happened Daksha performed another yajna. There's another big yajna which was performed. It was known as Brahaspati Sava. At that time, he invited many great sages, demigods, and everybody along with their wives who were decorated with nice ornaments, nice dresses, nice attires. They all went to that place where the yajna was happening. Sati, daughter of Daksha, she heard the conversation which was going on between the denizens of heaven. Actually, when they were crossing the place where Shiva and Sati stayed, Sati could hear that they were talking about the great sacrifice which was going to be performed by her father. So Sati went to Shiva and requested, see, your father-in-law is performing a very nice sacrifice. Though we are not invited, that we should go. Why we should expect some invitation from father? Or actually it said, even if father does not invite, or a friend does not invite, or a husband does not invite, we can go to that place. Then she was requesting Lord Shiva, please be kind to me. Let me also go to that place. And you also come along with me. Then she was saying there is no harm if one goes to the house of one's friend, husband, spiritual master, father, without invitation. Even I feel like to dress nicely and go. And there all my aunties are going to come, my mother's sisters will come, and then my sisters will come with their husbands. All my relatives will be coming. And I want to meet them, at least on this pretext of some yajna, at least I can go and meet them. Generally, when there is a social function, everybody gets together, meet each other. So that was a desire of even Sati. Now Maitreya, he is saying that Lord Shiva, when she spoke like this, at that time, Lord Shiva says, because Lord Shiva knew that how Daksha had spoken to him. Daksha went to the extent of calling Lord Shiva as very inauspicious, staying in the crematorium and applying the ashes of the dead bodies, dressing oneself with the bones and the skulls. He was actually criticizing the beautiful eyes of even Lord Shiva, saying that it is looking like a monkey. So in this way, he was calling Lord Shiva very inauspicious. And then he was saying that actually I would have not given my daughter, but it was only because Brahma told me to give daughter, that is why I gave. Or I don't find any qualities in you. Such an auspicious, Lord Shiva is so auspicious. And here, Daksha was criticizing him. And even heart-piercing speeches were delivered by Daksha. So the great Lord replied to Sati. This is all in the third chapter we are dealing with. We'll go through the third chapter and then come to the fourth chapter. He says, yes, we can go to a friend's house or a father's house or a spiritual master's house. Even if they don't invite also, provided they don't find fault in that person. Somebody finds fault, then you should not go there. And that too, somebody becomes angry and identifies and finds fault based on bodily identification, one should not go there. Then he says, although the 6 qualities, education, austerity, wealth, beauty, youth, heritage, are for the highly elevated, one who is proud of possessing them becomes blind. That is why we should be very careful. Even if the austerity is there, purity is there, and qualification is there, education is there, But one should not be proud of the things which he has got. So we should not go to one's house even on the consideration of his being a relative or a friend. If when the mind is disturbed in his, when the man is disturbed in his mind and looks upon the guest with raised eyebrows and angry eyes, he says we should not go to such place where they are very angry with the guests. You can go uninvited to your guest's house, it is Atithi, but it does not mean that he has to insult us. Then Lord Shiva continued, if one is hurt by the arrows of an enemy, one is not as aggrieved as one cut by unkind words of a relative. Some enemy throws an arrow. It is not so hurting, but if a relative speaks very bad words, then those words are very hurting. So we should not go there, he says to Lord, he says to Sati. So he says it is clear that many daughters of Daksha, among the many daughters, you are the one who is very beloved to your father. And I am telling you, you will also not be honored in the house because you have married me. Just because you are my wife, the father, Daksha, though he loves you, but still he will not honor you. And you will be very sorry that you are connected with me. And you yourself will feel sorry. Because they will insult you, they will not honor you. Because just because you are my wife in this way. Oh, my dear young wife, just listen to me. Please don't go in this way. Lord Shiva says, you should not see your father. Although he is the giver of your body, he has given you this body, but still you should not go there because he will insult you and you cannot bear the insult. And they are very envious of me, and because of that, he has insulted me with the cruel words, and he will insult you also. But in spite of this instruction, the husband has told, but still in spite of this instruction, even if you want to go neglecting my words, then the future will not be good. So here Lord Shiva says, I have instructed you that please don't go. If you go there, you will not be treated properly, and seeing that you yourself will repent. So better is don't go there, don't agitate your mind, and don't agitate their mind also. Because you go there, then they will remember me and they will start insulting you. So hear to my words, it will be good for you. And if you don't do that, then destiny is the judge. So you are the respectable, and when you are insulted by your relative, the insult will immediately be equal to death. So already Lord Shiva has told it will be equal to death. The fourth canto, fourth chapter starts. So this whole samvad, Maitreya Rishi is telling to Vidura what happens between Daksha and Shiva, then what happens between Shiva and Sati. Now, Maitreya vacha etavadukva virarama sankarsha Shankaraha patni ang nasham hi ubayatra chintayan suhadrikshu vidrukshu parisankita bhavan niskramati nirvishati vidishasa. So then after instructing Sati, Shiva was silent because he left it to her decision. Now Sati should have listened to what Shiva told, but then Sati was so anxious to meet her relatives in the father's house. At the same time, she was afraid of Shiva's body. So her mind was very unsettled. She moved here and there. She was not able to understand what to do, what not to do. And now she felt very sorry at being forbidden to go to father's house. And she had affections for them. She started crying. Tears were flowing from her eyes. She looked at Lord Shiva as if she were going to blast him with her vision. She was so angry with Lord Shiva that he's not allowing her to go. So she was angry. She was looking at Lord Shiva as if she's going to blast him. Then Sati left her husband, Lord Shiva, who had given her half body, his body due to affection. Yes. He had given his body to her due to affection. Now she left Lord Shiva because she wanted to go desperately. She was so anxious to meet. It is said The husband gives half his body to his wife, and the wife gives half her body to her husband. In other words, a wife without a husband and husband without a wife and a wife without a husband is incomplete. Vedic marital relationship existed between Lord Shiva and Sati, but sometimes due to weakness, a woman becomes very much attracted by the members of her father's house. And this happened to Sati also. So in this verse, what is seen? Breathing very heavily because of anger, she went to the father's house. And this was the less intelligent act which she did because she was a weak woman. A strong woman is one who listens to the instructions of her husband. Now then what happens? So now the Nandi and all Yakshas, Nandi, all the followers of Lord Shiva, they see Sati is going alone. Tam anvagarchan druta vikramam satim ekam trinetra nucharaha sahasrasha saparshada yakshaha maniman madadaya puro vrisandrash tarasa kata vithaha. So at that time, immediately Nandi and Yakshas, they also followed Sati. But she was going alone, so everybody followed. The disciples of Lord Shiva arranged for Sati to be seated on the back of a bull and gave her the bird which was her pet. They bore a lotus flower, a mirror, and all such paraphernalia for her enjoyment, and covered her with a great canopy, so she went like a princess there. Followed by a singing party with drums, conches, bugles. The entire procession was as pomp as a royal parade. But in here, they were all Yakshaganas, Bhutaganas. So then they are going to just imagine Yakshaganas, Bhutaganas, then they do the trumpet and then take Sati. What type of procession must be there? Now Sati reached father's house where the sacrifice was being performed and entered the arena where everyone was chanting the Vedic hymns. There were great sages, Brahmins, demigods, all assembled there. And there were wonderful pots of clay, stone, gold, brass, tin, everything was there. Now Sati with her followers reached the arena. Then what happened? Tam agatam tatrana kaschana adriyat. Nobody welcomed her. Nobody gave her respect just because of the fear of Daksha. Because already he had warned his family members, his wives, everyone, his daughters, everybody. Nobody should welcome Sati or Shiva. Now Sati is coming. That is what is the bodily level so-called love. The so-called love at the bodily level, which is actually lust, it only depends on how much the other person does for you. If the person is not, now let's see, Lord Shiva is a father-in-law. Just because he did not stand up, here Shiva, here Daksha gets very angry. That is why the lust is only based on what other person does for you. Now, no one welcomed her but her mother and sister, who with tears in their eyes and glad faces welcomed her and talked with her very pleasingly. Mother did, and her sisters also did. Although she was received by her sisters and mothers, she did not reply to their words of reception because she was very angry. What is this? I am coming, the sages and the Brahmins, they cannot get up, the demigods also cannot get up, nobody is welcoming me. So mother and sister talked to her, but still she was angry. And although she was given a seat and present, she did not accept anything. For her father did not talk to her. The main thing is, father did not speak to her, nor welcomed her. Even though mother spoke, sister spoke, but father did not speak. And already Lord Shiva had told that you will not be honored properly, and she saw that she is not honored properly. Now, she saw that in the sacrifice, for everybody share was kept. Every demigods, there was some share, some oblations were kept. But for her as husband, there was no oblation kept. And also she realized that not only had her father failed to invite Lord Shiva, but when he saw Lord Shiva's excited wife, Daksha did not receive her either. Thus she became greatly angry, so much so that she looked at her father as if she is going to burn him with her eyes. And then the followers of Lord Shiva, the ghosts, were ready to injure or kill Daksha. Bhutaganas were ready because Sati was very angry. Because Shiva was not welcomed properly. Shiva was ill-treated. Shiva was ill-treated. Not only Shiva was ill-treated here, Sati also was not welcomed properly. And Daksha did not even bother to speak to Sati. That is why Sati looked at Daksha with angry eyes. And here Bhutaganas were ready to kill Daksha. She was angry, sorrowful. She began to condemn the whole process of sacrifice. And that too for those people who were very proud of such unnecessary troublesome sacrifices. She began to condemn her father. She started speaking against him in presence of all. She says, Devi Ucha Uvacha Nayasya Loke Asti Atishayanah Priyas Tatha Priyo Deha Bhutam Priyatmanah Tasmin Samastatmani Muntavirate Vite Bhavantam Katamaha Pati Pate Paye. Now the blessed goddess says, Lord Shiva is the most wonderful person. He has no pride and is so beloved, Priya Atmanaha, Samasta Atmani. He is beloved to all the living beings. He is a Mukta Vairake. He doesn't have any enmity. And you're so envious of him. She's telling to her father, actually, nobody is envious of him except you. And then she says, twice born Daksha, you are a Brahmana. Now sarcastically she says, are you a Brahmana? And you are finding a fault in the qualities of others. What type of Brahman you are? A man like you is finding fault in the qualities of others, especially Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva doesn't find fault in anyone. Doshan pareshan hi guneshu sadhavo grinanti kechinna bhavadrusho juja puranscha palgun bahuli karishno mata mahattamas teshu avidad bhavanagam. So she says, my husband is so wonderful. He never finds fault in others. And you are finding fault in Shiva. He is Mahattama. There is Mahattama, Mahattara, and Mahattama. Let us see, all these things have been given in the purport. We'll read the purport. King Daksha was as addressed here as his daughter, by the daughter as Dvija, twice born. The twice born refers to the higher classes of men, namely the Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. In other words, a Dvija is not an ordinary man, but one who has studied the Vedic scriptures and he knows the Vedic scriptures from a spiritual master, he studied from a spiritual master, and he knows what is good and what is bad. It is supposed that he understands the logic and philosophy. Daksha's daughter put before him sound arguments. There are some highly qualified persons who accept only the good qualities of others. Just as a bee is always interested in the honey of the flower, does not consider the thorns and the colors. Highly qualified persons who are uncommon accept only the good qualities of others, not considering their bad qualities, whereas a common man can judge what are the good qualities and what are the bad qualities. Now, very highly exalted personality, Mahattama. So my husband is Mahattama, she says. He never finds fault in others. So highly qualified persons, what they do, they only see the good qualities of others. They ignore the bad qualities. But a common man can understand what is good quality, what is bad quality. Now let us see. Among the uncommonly good souls, there are still gradations. So what is the meaning of good souls? One who finds goodness in others. In that also there is gradation. And the best good soul is one who accepts an insignificant asset of a person and magnifies it, that it is a very good quality. Magnifies that quality. So in that also, who sees good qualities in others, in that also gradation is there. More good person is who sees just even one good quality and speaks. So enlarges that good quality, magnifies that good quality and speaks about him and glorifies him. And then Lord Shiva is also called Ashutosh, which refers to one who is very easily satisfied. and who offers to any person the highest level of benediction. For example, once a devotee of Lord Shiva wanted the benediction that whenever he touches someone on the head, that person's head would be at once separated from his trunk. Lord Shiva agreed, although the benediction asked was not very commendable. Because the Lord wanted to kill his enemy, Lord Shiva considered the devotee's good quality in worshipping and satisfying him and granted the benediction. Thus, Lord Shiva accepted his bad qualities as magnificently good qualities. Now, what is the nature of Lord Shiva? Good people, what they are? Good people find good qualities of others and they appreciate. More good person is who sees even one good quality and magnifies it. And the best person is one who sees even a bad quality and then tries to give him the benediction. Now here, even that bad quality was considered as a good quality. But now Bhasmasur had come to Lord Shiva. But still he considers, at least he has worshipped. Even for what sake he has worshipped? It was for a very bad thing he has worshipped. But at least he saw one good quality that he is at least coming to worship. Intention was very bad. So the Mahattama, they see even the bad quality to be a good quality. That is Mahattama. Thus the Lord Shiva is accepted his bad qualities as good qualities. But Sati accused her father. You are just the opposite. Lord Shiva has so many good qualities and no bad qualities at all. Still, you have accepted him as bad and find fault in him. Because of your accepting his good qualities to be bad, instead of your becoming the most exalted soul, you have become the most fallen. So a person should see a bad quality, that is okay, but you have seen even a good quality to be a bad quality, that is why you are the most fallen person. A man becomes great soul by accepting the goodness of others' qualities, but by unnecessarily considering others' good qualities to be bad, you have become the lowest of the fallen souls. Yes, Sati tells to Shiva, Sati tells to Daksha, that you have seen my husband's good qualities and that you have found mistake in him. That is why you are the most degrading person. Then he said, it's not wonderful for persons who have accepted the body to be everything, to engage always in deriding great souls. It's not so wonderful. And here because you are on the bodily platform, that much only can be expected from you. Such enviousness is not good, she says. And that is the cause of your downfall. Then Sati continued, oh my dear father, you are committing the greatest offense by offending Lord Shiva. Yadri aksharam nama gireritam nram sakrut prasangat agama suhantitat. So you are doing agam. Agam means the simple actions. By offending great devotee, Lord Shiva, whose very name, Shiva, 2 syllables are there, Shiva, purifies one of all sinful activities. His order is never neglected. Lord Shiva is always pure. And no one but you envies him. So everybody loves him, is so pure. Everybody is a devotee except you because you're so envious of him. You're envious of Lord Shiva. She said, Yatpada Padmam Mahatam Mahata Manobhi Nishevitam Brahma Rasas Vartibhi Lokas Sayad Varshapi Shashisho Rutinas Tasmai Bhavan Duryate Vishwabandhave. You're so envious of Lord Shiva. He's so kind, he's so peaceful, he's so friendly. For the common man, he fulfills all the desires because of their engagement in thinking of his lotus feet. He also blesses higher personalities, and you are insulting him. Do you think that greater, more respectable personalities than you, such as Lord Brahma, do not know he's an auspicious person who goes under the name Lord Shiva? So in this way, she's just getting angry on the person. He says, he associates with the demons in the crematorium. His locks of hair are scattered all over the body. He is garlanded with human skulls and smeared with ashes from the crematorium. But in spite of all these inauspicious qualities, great personalities like Lord Brahma, they worship him. They honor him by giving him lotus flowers. So though you may call him inauspicious, though you may say that he's sitting in an inauspicious place, you may call him by any names, but still, they're great personalities who are worshipping him. Sati continued. If one hears an irresponsible person blaspheme the master and controller of religion, one should block his ears and go away if unable to punish him. If one is able to kill, then one should by force cut out the tongue of the person and kill the offender. And after that, one should give up his own life. So very nicely told that if the master, that is the spiritual master, husband, anybody, is offended by somebody, is said here, if one hears an irresponsible person blaspheming the master, then immediately what he should do, he should either close his ears or run away from that place. But if possible, he can punish him. He should cut out his throat and kill that offender and then give up his life. That is why it is said, Satam indanamna paramaparadam vidanute. If this aparada is done by somebody, either leave that place or cut his throat, or that also you cannot do, then better is give up the body. Therefore, I shall no longer bear this unworthy body because I am not able to cut your throat. Father, how shall cut the throat? How can she kill him? That is why she says, I don't want to live with this body, which has been received from you. She says, actually, I am ashamed to get this body also because you have given this body. So better I don't have this body because you have blasphemed Lord Shiva. If someone has taken food which is poisonous, the best treatment is to vomit out. So what is poison for me? The dress what you have given, the body what you have given. Better is I throw it out. So in this way, Sati, she takes a vow. And then, oh my dear father, whatever opulence we are possessing is actually useless, she says. And you are the offender at the feet of Lord Shiva. And unfortunately, I have a body which is produced from yours. I am very much ashamed of our relationship. And I'm condemning myself because this body belongs to you. This body has been given by you. And you are offender of Lord Shiva. Actually, she says, when Lord Shiva addresses me as Dakshayani, I at once become morose. Dakshayani means Daksha's daughter. Whenever he says to me Dakshayani, I'm upset because this body has been, I am identified with you, she says. I am identified with you. That is why when he calls me Dakshayani, I feel very sorry that because that body, which is like a bag, is produced by you. In this way, Maitra tells to Vidura that Sati sat down on the ground, faced north, dressed in saffron garments. She sanctified herself with water, closed her eyes to absorb herself in the process of mystic yoga. First of all, she sat in the required sitting position, and then she carried the life air towards and placed it in the position of equilibrium near the navel. Then she raised her life air mixed with intelligence to the heart and then gradually towards the pulmonary passage, and from there in between her eyebrows. And in this way, she used her body. Sati was very angry with her father. She meditated on the fiery air within the body. She concentrated all her meditation at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. Thus she became completely pure and quit her body in a blazing fire of meditation on the fiery elements. Thus Sati annihilated her body. Why had Sati, the wife of the most respectable demigod, quit her body in such a manner? So in this way, everybody were talking. Why she quit the body in this way? Because she was not treated properly just because she was the wife of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva had been treated very badly by Daksha. And she saw that there was no share, no oblations kept by Lord Shiva. Thus her father was insulting Lord Shiva. And just because she is the wife of Lord Shiva, she was also insulted. That is why she thought, why to maintain this body which has been given by such a sinful person? And Sati, who was not only chaste, but also a great soul, gave up her body because of his neglect. And Daksha, who was so hard-hearted that he is unworthy to be a Brahmana, will gain extensive fame because of his offenses to his daughter. Because of not having prevented her death, and because of his great envy towards the Supreme Personality of God. So people started talking among themselves about the wonderful voluntary death of Sati. The attendants who had come themselves to kill Daksha, who had come with her, were ready themselves to kill Daksha with their weapons. They came forward, but Bhrigu Muni saw the danger and offered oblations into the southern side of the sacrificial fire. Immediately uttered Vedic mantras by which the destroyers of the yogic performances could be killed immediately. So the Bhrigu Muni offered oblations in the fire immediately. Many thousands of demigods, they became manifested. All were powerful. So because the Yakshaganas, Rakshasas, and all of Yakshaganas, Bhutaganas, they came to kill Daksha. At the time, Bhrigu here creates many demigods, Rubhu demigods. They attacked the ghosts, Guyakas. And in this way, all the attendants of Sati, they fled away in different directions just because of Brahma Tej and Brahminical power. Bhrigu Muni is a Brahmin. So because of his power, the demigods were created and they forced the demons, not demons, the yakshas, the bhutaganas, the attendants of Sati to flee from that place. So in this way, Sati burns her body. Then further what happens? That we'll see how Lord Shiva, he gets very angry, performs Tandav, and all these things happens. So 5th, 6th, 7th, in summary, we will be doing tomorrow. Today we have completed 2nd chapter, 3rd chapter, and the 4th chapter. 3rd and 4th summary we did today. Mahaprasade Govinde, Nam Brahmane Vaishnave.